Welcome
Gille
to the Rustenburg Podcast.
Molweni Rustenburgs, good afternoon. Molweni, good afternoon. Yes, goeiemiddag, I think it's called that. We're back again with podcast number, we're probably on podcast number 30 something now, and I'm very excited for this one. Long awaited. I booked this one with Mrs. Liss on the 1st of January. Mrs. Liss, we've been waiting for this moment. How are you?
Good, and it is lovely to be here, and it's fantastic to have Mrs. Niegaardt here with us today as well.
Lovely.
So, we've also been waiting this is something we're both very passionate about, this topic, so excited to be here.
Yeah, Mrs. Niegaardt, I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, do you teach all the girls in the school?
Well, I teach most of the girls in the school. Mrs. Liss does the very littlies and then the very biggies. I teach grade 1 to grade 6.
Yes.
For phys ed.
Sure.
So majority of it.
How many children are there? Do you know all their names?
28 times. I like to think I know all their names. I have to look deep into their faces to really know everyone's names. But generally, I think I'm quite good with the names. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But you get to know them. Week by week, you see their faces, and eventually, by the time I'm here for many years, I'll know all of their names.
Just 3 days into the holidays, what are you doing this holiday?
Nothing. Relaxing.
That's
You've
good
got twins, of course you're going to be busy.
Thank you, exactly. Sending them to school, relaxing by myself.
Okay, cool. Mrs. Liss, plans for the holidays?
Oh, we're heading to the Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
We do our Eastern Cape migration this time of the year. So,
lovely.
My husband wants to find the warmer weather, and we visit family there and do a lot of mountain biking and hiking and beach walks. So, really looking forward to the downtime.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and yourself? Lots of plans.
No, not really. I'm not going to be a new dad, right? Or am I?
You are a new dad again.
A new dad again.
Yes, I think again. Because I think every child is different. So
so I'm just going to be obviously spending some time with my son, waking up in the mornings and all of that.
Nice.
But I am working.
Yes.
But that's a topic for another day. Let's
Cool.
leave that. Cool. Let's get to the business of today. So we're speaking about something very interesting, the long-term athletic development, right? Mrs. Liss, I just want, firstly, let's start with what is it? Before we go into how did Rustenburg get to that point, what is long-term athletic development program? And I had, before we started, you were using an acronym, LT, what is it?
LTAD.
Hey, LTLD, yes. Let's speak about what is it.
Okay, so basically your long-term athletic development program is rather looking at a longer view of how we develop children in sport, rather than just looking at the here and now, short term, what are their goals, what are their achievables when the child is 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old. You rather try and look at actually developing a set of skills, a set of characteristics that can actually benefit the child all the way through, so that there aren't any gaps, that you're not skipping a part of their skill set training before you reach a high level of competition. With the idea is that you want children to be engaged in and have a love for sport for a long period of time, that you don't have the burnout that we see in so many young athletes through overtraining, through over-competitiveness. So in a broad, quite broadly, that is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Lifelong participation in sport, I think.
Yeah.
But
why?
Where they actually continue sport long after they finished school, long after sort of that competitiveness within the schooling environment, even in university environment, that once they are Mrs. Liss's age, they are still participating in sport that they've always loved and enjoyed.
Yeah, but why is it important then? Why should they be participating? Is this changing the narrative or even the discussion around, is a sport like a by the way, since I'm in school, I'm just doing sport, and then why is it important? Why do we need a long-term athletic development program?
Well, I think, for me, especially for young girls, I think we've seen a lot of changes in the time that I've been involved with education. This is my 25th year of teaching at Rustenburg, and I've seen a shift in mindset. I've seen a shift between just even the heads of sport in our local schools in the area. I want to see girls in particular passionate about continuing to play sport.
Yeah.
It's not just about the select handful of sporty girls. It's about saying, hey, I'm 25, I'm 35, I'm 45. I
Sure.
can go and run a half marathon. I can
Yeah.
go and run the Cape Town Marathon.
Yeah.
I can train towards a goal. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if I wasn't a first team athlete at school.
Yeah.
Exercise is important. It's important for, everyone, but obviously we're working in a all girls environment. And
Yes.
so I'm passionate about seeing our young girls feel that they want to, they enjoy exercise. There's something for everyone to take part in.
Yeah.
And it's not just a select few of girls that want to go on and play competitive sport inside of school or outside of school.
Yeah.
The health benefits of living an active lifestyle.
Yeah.
You don't need to be competing, but just a healthy, active lifestyle is
Yeah.
so important.
And I'm not taking anything away. I think what you're saying is so important that you even hear like little comments, right? Where someone will say, hey, the stairs at Rustenburg, like, yo, I'm tired. It's an everyday complaint that you get.
Yes, I think that's what I actually also wanted to add to what Miss Liz was saying, that yes, we want to be able to do half marathons. Yes, we want to jump on our mountain bike and be able to ride up a mountain or whatever. But I think it's also those daily activities that we want to be able to do with ease when we are 30, 40, 50, 60, that you're able to walk into a shopping mall and pick up your bags and walk to your car, put them in your boot without assistance from anyone. I think that's also the valuable part of learning fundamental skills and maintaining activity throughout your life, through various stages. Picking up a baby like you. Being there and being able to pick up your older daughter and manage your son and climb upstairs while doing it. It's those types of things, living your daily things that you do. That's the important part of it. Yeah.
Mrs. Liss, let's give it context. How did Rustenburg get here? How did we get as a sport department into having a long-term athletic development? Is it something that's always been there, or what happened?
No, it hasn't. As someone who's been part of Rustenburg from when I was in sub A all the way through to high school, being
you
someone
can hear
who's...
with sorry, you can hear with sub A.
I guess my age
It was a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
It was not 2000 years.
Yeah, I'll push pause there when I said the sub-A. But I think just watching and being part of that process of seeing how, when I was at junior school, even our inter-house gala, the only girls that swam in our inter-house gala that wasn't even into schools or the team were the fastest girls in the school. And no one else had an opportunity to participate. We would only have an A team or maybe an A and a B side at a push. And when I stepped into the role of a phys ed teacher at Rustenburg, I'd come out of studying at Stellenbosch University. I very much still had a frame of being, I was a national athlete at the time. I'd been in provincial setups and national setups for a number of sports from, when I was quite young, and I was still competing, and I was still competing up until the age of into my 40s for South Africa. But wearing that hat of being an elite athlete and stepping into a space, I'll be honest, the first couple of years I needed to juggle that expectation of performance-based and understanding that I was an elite athlete. I was used to dealing with coaches and, teams in a certain manner. And I started to see a couple of things that I felt we could change. And I felt that we needed to change for the benefit. But I didn't feel like I had the tools or the understanding over how to do that appropriately. And I kind of took some of my own learnings and some of my own errors and my own failures and my own mistakes as a coach and as a manager and as a leader. And I went up to St. Stithians to a sports conference. And a speaker who I'd never met before, never heard any of the narrative he was about to explain, started speaking about this long-term athletic development program. And everything just fell into place for me. And I sat there going, wow, this is really it. What he was speaking about was looking at how we develop children in the age in an age-appropriate way. So how we look at what is the skill set those kids need. And they kind of pulled up a bunch of stats from America, from Australia, from England.
Yeah.
South Africa hadn't heard about what a long-term athletic development program was. And basically the idea of it is that you look at the fundamental skills that children need at certain appropriate ages without competition. And then you introduce competition at an appropriate age, at an appropriate level.
Yeah.
And thereafter, that level of competition and specialization, it gets a little bit more serious as the children get older.
Yeah.
But and they kind of threw around some statistics of saying and we've all heard these because now it's common knowledge about saying, well, how many of the boys that were actually playing in the SA rugby side were actually, where they're playing SA rugby when they were under 13s or provincial rugby. They kind of threw around statistics like that. They threw around some injury statistics. They threw around saying, well, actually, when we were now taking a boy who's now a teenager, now moving up into higher setups, and we're saying, but why isn't his kicking accuracy there? And we break it down and we go, but this boy can't skip.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my word. So if you look at the lead up, and I'm using a lot of boy statistics because that was given to me, 12 years ago when I heard about this.
Yeah.
And so a lot of things resonated with me, and they were like, so we can't get this young chap now to actually be kicking the distance and his accuracy for rugby because he doesn't know how to hop strongly on his left and his right foot. His hopscotch skills aren't there, and he can't skip.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, but look at the lead up for that. That's actually what that boy needs to be able to do for his weight transfer, to be able to correctly do a place kick in rugby.
Yeah.
So although it was a lot of boy statistics, I came back to Rustenburg with this knowledge, and I sat with it for quite a bit, and I did a bit of research, and I did, looking at articles online, speaking to people, getting an understanding. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do about it? After, probably about 8 months of looking into things. Our senior management team meets once a year for our strat planning. And I sat down and I proposed that, first of all, we make sport compulsory at school.
Yep.
Secondly, we remove competitive sport from our grade 1s and our grade 2s. Now, on the one side, you're saying, why are you making sport competitive? Because we want to get mass participation.
Yeah.
It's not about every child having to play a team sport. We introduce sports where children it's not necessarily competitive because they're children that simply do not thrive in that competitive environment, and they want to feel that they can take part in sport in a non-competitive environment. By removing competition from our grade 1s and grade 2s, I rather looked at developing a program where our girls would have more exposure and actually growing those fundamental skills. And remember, those skills are cross-pollinated across.
Yeah.
So
you need them in whatever sport you participate in.
That was our launching over, and like we can speak a bit more into how we got to where we are now.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like where it started with actually making a very big change in Rustenburg about 12 odd years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that example of the skipping and the hopping is so important because it's such basic fundamental skills that we as sports educators and sports people understand is important, but many people overlook. Overlook the fact that a child can't skip. They can't transfer weight from right to left. Can't do hopscotch. And then I like how the person who presented to you also used it in a boys' sport context. Because how often are we getting boys to skip and to play hopscotch? You know what I mean? It's very rare that you see a boy playing hopscotch and doing skipping. But how important is it down the line when you need them to do those skills in a performance arena? When we standing under pressure in front of the goals. Why can't he kick?
Or their bowling technique for
fix
cricket.
it? Why can't we fix it? We have to go right back to grassroots fundamental levels before we can do so. So that was quite interesting.
So now I want to touch about how does it look like in practice. So from a strategic point of view, I hear what you're saying. In practice, do the girls understand what you're doing? Do the parents understand what you're doing? Do the coaches understand what you're doing? You know what I mean? How's that communicated to them? How does it look like in practice? Because now you have to apply it on the ground, to say the reason why we're hopping is A and B and C and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
I think
I think that could almost, that could almost be one of the hardest things of actually implementing the program. I mean, yes, we have an understanding, we have a full strategy, plan out exactly what to do, but to get not implementing, but let's say getting the buy-in from everyone, all parties involved. I think that's a difficult part. Having the parents understand why we are skipping and hopscotching at... let's continue with the example of the rugby.
Yes.
Why is my son skipping and hopping at the rugby practice?
Yes.
You know, getting that buy-in, getting coaches to understand your long-term goal. We are not here to get this boy to kick over the pole right now in grade 1.
Yes.
Yeah. We are here to get him to kick over the pole properly when he goes to under 13A.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting that buy-in, I think that's the difficult part of implementing it. Implementing it and having everyone on the same page is the most difficult part.
Yeah.
And I think
which
because
takes a lot
often,
of time.
I mean, you asked us a lot of,
Yes.
does this person or this person? I mean, my grade R's, I spend a lot of time in terms of those gross motor skills, those big fundamental movement skills that the girls are working on. I mean, that really is a key aspect of what I'm doing with the girls. And then they move on to Mrs. Niegaardt when they go into grade 1. So do they understand? No.
No.
We kind of do it in a way where, you know, we have progression in the exercise, we do it in a fun way. Do our grade 1s and 2s understand that they've got their long day of games day? Yes, the girls understand that. Do my coaches understand that? Yes, I do. And it's not just my coaches that are working with my younger athletes. It's my coaches all the way through.
Yeah.
Because I know that winning is nice.
Yeah.
We all like to win. But winning is not the ultimate. And I would rather have our girls, for instance, play a good game of netball or a good game of hockey and know that sometimes you're going to play against someone who's better than you.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. And we need to learn how to lose. But it's important for me that we don't, our sportsmanship is good.
Yeah.
Okay. And that our girls understand that losing doesn't mean that you're not good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it. I understand that losing by great margins and losing every week, you know, then we got to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
But I think the whole emphasis, you must win every week.
Sure.
And then there is a problem with the coach. And it's like, no. Take a look at where we're going. Because I think that sometimes my vision, and I'm saying and that's us as a team, as Rustenburg, our vision as a sports department is not always and not necessarily the same as what a parent is. I have to be honest, and I'm saying that we see that.
Yeah.
You know, we have a very close-knit relationship with heads of sports from the other schools.
Yeah.
I mean, parents will just have a go at like an under-9 at a head of sport because the under-9s have lost a netball match. Yeah. And how could they lose by this amount? And I'm thinking, sorry, where is your perspective? What you find is that schools will force that high competition, and then you have to go back and say, okay, so your grade 1s and your grade 2s are playing netball matches, hockey matches, rugby matches. What is actually their technique like? Are they holding their stick in the correct way? Are they stopping the ball in the correct way? So actually rather developing the skill set required. And you'll see that game strategy and that gameplay, they get catch up. And I can say that, I mean, if you saw the amounts of our success and the amounts of, you know, I don't want to say it's all about trophies, but look how many trophies we won and we brought back at the end of last season. You can't have a season like that every year. I'm not going to say that we're going to pull in like 10 inter-schools trophies every year, but what I am saying is that I believe that the program, and I believe, and if I say the science and the belief and the heart behind where we are as a department is really going to hold our young athletes and our young girls into good stead as they go into adulthood.
Yeah. Are you then saying that the trophies that you brought in, it's as a result to the long-term athletic development?
Yes.
Wow.
I do believe that. Wow. And like I said, within every year, I mean, we're competing, you know, for these kind of trophies within our 8 all-girls schools in the area. Yeah. You can't win every year. And I think you have to have a measure of saying, and I can be quite critical in terms of my own self and self-reflective and being like, okay, Rustenburg, we're not coming first here, but take a look here. So we're not coming rock bottom. If we're coming rock bottom in something, I'm going to take a step back and say, what happened there? Yeah. Remember that interschools is also just a one-day thing. Yeah. Sometimes we get nailed by a nasty flu virus in the school, and
Yeah,
I'm
half the
down
team
for-
can't play.
half the team isn't there. Other days, we're showing up in the best possible way. What are we looking like across the season?
Yeah.
Are we losing everything? Are we seeing progression in our girls? Are we seeing, really from where the girls are moving from their long-term athletic development program that they're doing grade 1 and grade 2, and I know that we'll get a chance to, speak a bit more into that, as they transition into their competitiveness? No. Sorry, if we play against a school that's been playing matches in grade 1 and grade 2, we might lose the first match or two. But I can tell you now, you watch the way those under-9s are playing now, I mean, they played amazing netball and hockey when I watched them a couple of weeks ago. So don't point a finger and go, okay, but we played against that school in week 1 and we lost that match. They always ask me, I'm like, oh, sorry, girls, I don't actually know what the score was. Because I'm more focused on actually what my girls are doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where my eyes are on my girls.
Yeah.
That's where I look and say, hey, that's what we need to work on. Those are the extra clinic we might need to put in. That's the extra coaching. That's the emphasis. These are the conversations I need to be having with my coaches.
Yeah. Sure. I want to speak about the challenges that you have, but maybe before we get into the challenges, maybe speak to us about the importance of that relationship between the parents, between the coach, between the school, and the rest of the staff members. Because I think it's also important that staff members understand the holistic vision, you know what I mean? Regardless of whether they are coaches, managers, or whatever, they need to understand what is it that we're doing. That relationship, how important is it, and what can be done to make sure that we nurture that relationship. We educate staff members, we educate parents, we educate everyone, whether it's OT, whatever, because I'm assuming you also need other professionals outside of the sport world, you know what I mean? Whether it's an OT, whether it's whatever, the importance of that relationship.
Well, I think that could possibly be one of the most important relationships to nurture.
Yeah.
Is that there's the relationship, and like I said in the beginning, most important, but probably the most difficult thing to do is to get all the buy-in from parents, staff, coaches, heads of sport, whoever it may be, to be on the same page. Yeah. And I think something like this, a discussion where we are open about the journey, where we've come from, where we are going. Yes. I think that's the best way to get buy-in from everyone. Yeah. I've joined Rustenburg last year, but I can see the journey. I can see what is the plan. Yeah. Because I work in the sports department, and it's there every day. It's things we discuss all the time. Like Miss Liss just said, she's not worried about the scoreboard. We sit in a meeting and say, what extra can we do to support our goals? Just last week, we had goalkeeper training, we had goal shooter training, and we had defensive training. Sure. Just those three. Goalkeeper training for hockey, goal shooter training for netball, and defensive training for netball. Yeah. And it's those small little things that we are doing. I think that is what's going to get the buy-in from all parties, from coaches, from parents, because then it says, we are standing on the side of the field and we are taking note of what is lacking and how do we fix it. Yeah. Because even I've seen it, we get to in netball. Yes. We get to the circle and we can't finish. We can't put the goal in. Yeah. And then we get a moan saying we're losing. So then let's fix where we think the problem might be. So that the parent hears that we are looking into it. They see that, they let's not call it moans. Their concerns are not falling on deaf ears. Yeah. And that we are doing something about it to help our students along the journey, get our parents support to trust in the journey, so that we are all going in the same direction. Yeah. But it's not easy. Yeah. And I do think Rustenburg is doing it the right way. I have been at 2 schools prior to Rustenburg. Yeah.
They were doing a terrible job.
Not as great as Rustenburg, where it was slightly different. And I think I must admit that Rustenburg is very steadfast in how we trust in what we are doing. Yeah. And we listen, but we know that what we are doing is the right thing because Miss Liz, for example, has seen it from start, and we are obviously not near the finish at all. Okay. So she started from there, and I think it's the way we are believe in what we are doing. And I think eventually that does, tip parents over to be saying, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's rather give support than fight against the cause that we are trying to put forward. But I think it's the most difficult, but the most important thing.
Yeah. Okay. Mrs. Liss, now I'm going to go back to you. You started this, is it 12 years ago? Am I correct?
Yeah, I think it was, sure.
Yeah, 12,
Maybe
10 years?
12 years ago. I would need to go back and look at some stats.
What are some of the moments that you're super proud of that you have been able to identify because of the long-term athletic development? Whether in year 6 you were like, sure, what we were doing in year 1, this is now year 6. I'm super proud of this. What makes you super proud of the long-term athletic development plan?
I think probably the number of children that take part.
Yeah.
And like I said,
Yeah.
I think people might think, do you even play sports? You sound quite wishy-washy. You're not really interested in winning. I mean, you know me, I'm actually quite competitive.
Just want everyone to play and have fun.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a competitive person.
Yeah.
But we are not dealing with adults.
Yeah.
We are dealing with children. And there is a difference between coaching an adult and coaching a child. And so on the one hand, I always say to parents when I sit down and engage with them, please understand that I need to wear multiple hats. And one of those hats is looking and trying to manage and accommodate and coach and be there and support my girls that are early developers in the sport. Statistics show us that just because you are peaking at 13, it does not mean that you're going to carry that same success of peaking and playing in an A side or a first team when you get to under 16.
Yeah.
That is the reality. Forget about under 19. So I wear that hat of going, okay, right now I do have some athletes and this is their moment. I'll speak to them in 3, 4, 5 years' time. They'll still be playing sport, but not necessarily in the A side. So I want to create that space. I want to create that competitive environment as I can. But I also want to look at the longevity of saying, I want more children to have participation. And that doesn't come that easily when you're dealing with leagues that, for instance, only have so many schools and so many teams that I can play against. But I'm trying to create more teams and more opportunities.
Yeah.
And yet and it doesn't sound like it's a big stumbling block, but it actually is. Because if you keep, say selecting teams or creating opportunities, you're getting more kids who want to play, but now you don't have teams for them to play against. And then you kind of sit in that space of going, how is this kid feeling? Like I'm not managing to get their match times and where they're feeling valued in that space. So I think for me, yes, we've had wonderful successes. We have won lots of trophies, which we have done. Yeah. We've had amazing years where we've just, had great success in our netball and our hockey teams and, swimming and tennis and all the rest. But actually, we've now gone from having one swimming team to having 2 fully competitive, an A and a B team swimming in galas every week.
Yeah.
We, instead of having an A and a B team for netball, for instance, we've got A, B, C, and D sides. We've got environments where children can be upskilled and improve their skills. Our hockey teams have just exponentially increased the number of hockey teams that we have. So I think when I say the number of girls that, our B teams can play against some of the A teams and beat them because that is the depth that we now have in our school when it comes to our school sport and the number of learners that are taking part. So, it's lekker to win, but actually it's really good to see so many girls having the opportunity to play sport.
Yeah. Okay, Mrs. Niegaardt, in closing, I want you to tell me, or rather the listeners, about, so a lot of times when I hear a lot of adults, when we have conversations, so this is their career space and all of those things, they speak about how teachers kind of saw them and earmarked them and said, you are going to make magic or whatever. So we don't need to mention any child's name, but from the girls that you spend time with, you coach and all of those things, do you see in the next 20 years, where do you see them? Are we talking the next South African big swimmers, netball players, whatever? Don't mention any name of any child, please.
The pressure.
But I just want to know where we are.
Listen, I think it is quite tricky.
Yeah.
And like Ms. Liz has said, the statistics show that kids who peak now don't necessarily continue. And you said, playing sport, but in a different team. There's some that drop sport completely and play it completely social. They don't even want to do matches anymore. And they find other spaces that they excel in at a later stage that they may not have excelled in when they were younger. So it is tricky, but I do think that there is also that space for girls who do peak at 13 to excel right through. But it comes with extra support. I think those kids need to be nurtured even more if they are showing that they are excelling through to under 14, under 16, under 19. So that they are managed in the correct way, that they are provided with the correct, if we had to go very broad, the correct emotional support. Support from parents, staff, coaches, all involved. The correct rest. Also allowing a kid to be a kid, I think, is part of that. That they find balance between excelling in sport, academics, and their social life. So I do think there are probably a handful of kids who would most likely fall into that space where they are able to excel in all aspects. But I do think there's some that have peaked now in junior school that we won't see in Rustenburg, Herschel, Springfield, wherever, first team in the next five years.
Okay. World Cup prediction. Who's taking the World Cup?
I was hoping it would be South Africa because that's my team in the staff.
Yes.
What do you call that? Stockfell. What's it? Is it a stockfell? But they failed me on the first match.
I mean, I can't even defend them. But
so
anyway,
I actually find it quite difficult because I think there've been some good games that you expected people to win, and then there were a couple of upsets. So you're like, oh, I really thought they would win. So I don't know.
Spain.
I was just about to say, I think Spain.
Okay.
Spain might take it.
Okay,
Are you
we
Spain?
hear you.
Spain, your team.
I don't know. You never told me what my team was yet.
You're just here for the kids.
And Mrs. Liz, your closing remarks. What do you want to say in closing to everyone who's listening to this? And I do think we need part 2 of this. I don't think we've had enough time. But anyway.
I want to say thank you for your support. For the parents. I want to say please continue to trust us in this journey. I work with a remarkable team. Mrs. Niegaardt and Ms. Davison. You have 3 very passionate educators who are both accomplished athletes. And that's not blowing anyone's horn. It's just we've got the education behind it. We've got the science behind it. But we've also got the lived experience of being athletes ourselves. But
The skill set.
We've got the lived experience of coaching children. And I think that often when parents come in and push quite hard, it's because they're athletes themselves. They might still be participating in that sport themselves. And so I just ask you to partner with us on this journey. Ask the questions, maybe ask them in a nice way. Helps us maybe also manage that space in a better way. But we do want to partner with you. We don't want to work against you. And understand that we do care for your children and we care for the journey that your girls are on. I know it's hard when they have to face disappointments. But we are here to support our girls, and we all love what we do.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I do really hope that the girls know how privileged it is to have the sports department. I mean, every single person in the sports department, you can just see in how they speak about sport, how they discuss through their meetings, through staff meetings, how they do the planning. Passion is evident. You can see this goes beyond paycheck.
And a few grey hairs.
You know, this goes beyond a paycheck because you can just see their heart is all out. And well done on the amazing job that you're doing. And I hope when you get home after hours and all of those things, you clap hands for yourself. You acknowledge what you're doing for Rustenburg. I think it's such an amazing team and department, you know, and I get the privilege to be next to you guys. And Although, although I'm not in sports, but I can hear you discuss, I can hear you plan, I can hear all of those things. And it's just beautiful to see, even in the frustration, because you can see that you just want the best.
Yeah.
You know, and we all know that you're professionals at what you do. And our job is to support and to cheer you on. So there we go, Rustenburg.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much.
Out of here. Cheers.